All right, so these are the rules for strict curl nation, as well as just strict curl in general. There are a couple of small differentials across a couple different federations, so I'll just kind of get those out of the way quickly. The major thing in strict curl nation is that your head does not need contact. So your head can be forward, your head can be back. I personally like to do it, you know, I guess maybe, I don't know if it's the old school way, whatever. I try to keep my head back, but if your head does leave contact, that's totally fine. In other federations, that is potentially a rule. In strict curl nation, it is not, okay? Now you do need contact for your upper back, which sometimes can be tricky, but I'll kind of explain what that might look like. And definitely your butt. That's the most common infraction, is your butt coming off the wall. So just like a bench press, if you can imagine a bench press but standing up, you'd want to have contact here and contact here to kind of set your kind of position. Your lower back does not need to be in contact, but as long as your buttocks and your upper back is in contact with the wall. And you can see we have lines in both spots. So it's a big piece of tape, but essentially it's the start of the tape here, and I'll kind of explain. So the start of the tape, just part of your heel needs to be behind that line. And you can take a wide stance, you can take a close stance, whatever kind of stance is kind of comfortable for you. So again, sometimes you'll see people kind of shimmy it and things like this. If your shoulders come off the bench, that's going to be a red light. So sometimes, you know, especially if you're like really flexible in your upper body, you may get a red light on one side, and that's totally fine. Maybe just one of your glutes come, you know, so that could happen. Okay, you need 2 out of 3 judges to give you a white light to get credit for the lift. But if your upper back comes off the pad, and I see daylight, if your buttocks comes off the pad, and we see daylight, that's going to be a no lift. Those are the most common infractions. In terms of your feet, the side judges are going to have their hands up. This is more of my rule, and I know other federations, I know strict curl nation doesn't always do this, but I think this is the best way to do it. So once your feet are good, so once you have contact here, and your feet are good, the side judges are going to bring their hands down. At that point, once you're set, you don't have to go, but you cannot go before the start or the curl command, okay? If you start the lift before the curl command, you're missing the verbal command, and that's going to be a no lift, okay? So once you have contact, side judges are going to bring their hands down. I'm going to say curl. At that point, you may start the lift. You don't have to start right away if you don't want to, okay? Let's say your one foot was too far forward, this judge might have their hand down, this judge is going to have their hand up. I'm just going to wait there until you get that leg back, okay? All right, so let's pretend we're doing a set. You could take a wide grip or you could take a close grip. Most people prefer a close grip. Okay, so pretend the side judges are going to bring their hands down. I'm going to say curl. The bar can come up. Again, there's a lot of different ways you can kind of do this. Once you are kind of locked out, so if you're kind of still like kind of struggling out here, the bar is going to be tight to the body. Your elbow is going to be closed. Okay, you don't need to necessarily pull it up high like this. Some people do. You could finish low, you could finish high, but the elbow is going to be fully closed. And at that point, once the bar is steady and you show control, you're going to get a down command. In strict curl nation, once you receive the down command or the rack command, the judging is over. Other federations, that might not be the case, but at this point, if you want to kind of take it down any way you'd like, that's fine. The judging is over once at the top of the lift. So once you receive that rack command, the judging is done. So we're going to kind of go through that again. And again, this is just how I set up. You don't have to set up this way, but I usually set up with 1 foot behind the line already. I'll pull it back, curl, down, rack it. Okay, you just make a bona fide attempt to get it back in the rack. If you're having issues or you need help with the judges can help assist you back in if something goes wrong. Okay. Other common infractions, these are less common in strict curl nation, but they can happen. If there's any downward movement of the bar. So sometimes if you get caught here and then something, you'll see kind of this twisting action or something like that. If it's very excessive, this is very excessive. If there's a little bit of wobble, I'm looking at the center of the bar, okay? If there's downward motion of the bar, that's going to be a no lift. Okay, obviously if you fail the lift at any point, another thing that I don't see get called that much, but it's something to look for. If there's excessive knee movement or a knee change, okay, that is also going to be a red light. Sometimes people don't catch that, but that is in the rule book. You can use leg drive, but your knee position can't change after the curl command. If you are starting like this, I'm not going to give you a start command. Okay, you don't need to be hyperextended, but the knees need to be relatively straight. Okay, that's something I kind of see that oftentimes gets missed. If your foot slides, if you miss a command, that sort of thing. I think that kind of covers most of like the major rules. You can wear wrist wraps. You can wear a belt. You must wear a singlet. Any kind of footwear is fine, but you must wear footwear. You can wear, we recommend you wear a shirt. I should double check if you need to wear a shirt or not. I think that you do, but a shirt under the singlet is good. Just can't be long sleeves because you need to be able to judge the elbows. Chalk is fine. We have a chalk bowl here. Just please keep the chalk on your hands or in the bowl, or else I'm dumping chalk in your house, okay? All right, come on. You got to let my corny jokes, guys. All right. Thank you, guys. All right, so we could cut that. I think that was pretty thorough.